Elisa, you do a lot of shooting, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and you've picked out a gun for yourself, but you've got a few here in the cabinet that would probably be very suitable for the ladies.
Yes. Anything from a semi-auto to a revolver, depending upon what they're comfortable with. Some don't like all the bells and whistles on the semi-auto. They prefer just a simple pull the trigger and good to go.
Let's have a look at a couple of them right now.
This one is a 22. It's a Ruger revolver. It's hammerless. A lot of women prefer the revolver. It's a lot easier to use. Simple, especially in the spur of the moment. You don't have to worry about chambering anything, pulling the hammer or pulling the slide back or anything like that.
No, that out from my wife, her lovely wife, that's a hard time for her, especially if you're talking about a larger caliber. So
yeah, and especially in the spur of the moment with the adrenaline rushing, it can make it a little bit challenging to actually think through the safety, through the slide, through making sure you have one in the chamber before you try to pull the trigger.
And this one has a laser on it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It has a Crimson Trace laser, and it's actually set up in the grip.
Okay.
So that as soon as you grip it,
there it goes.
You can see the laser.
What's this next one, Elisa?
This is a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard. It's a 380. It's going to be a little bit easier to conceal if you need to. It is a semi-auto, so it's a 6+1. So you can have 6 in the mag, 1 in the chamber.
A little higher caliber than the other one.
Yes, and it does have a laser on it as well. It can either have a steady laser or it can strobe, and it's not versus the revolver that we had gone over earlier.
Yeah.
It's not in the grip, so you actually have to set it up if you want it there or if you don't want it there.
So you have to turn it on. Yeah.
And it is ambidextrous. Next we have a Ruger. This is also a 380. It does have a laser as well that has just a little switch up in the front. It is a semi-auto, so you will pull the slide back.
And like you were describing, sometimes that is a little difficult.
It can be a little bit difficult. Some prefer it so that they don't always have one in the chamber. This one is another one that's good, that if makeup or something, if it's in your purse, tends to get in with the trigger, it's not going to go off. That's another safety within it. This is the same thing that we just went over. This is an LC 380. It's just a larger model. If you prefer a little bit larger gun to be able to hold on to, it's not as tiny. And you can have just a little bit better control over it if you prefer that.
And no laser.
And no laser. This is my favorite out of all. This is actually my own personal gun. This is the SIG P238. It's a 380 as well. It has the safety on it, which I would prefer. It is a semi-auto as well. I love the grip because I have complete control over it, and it's easy to hold on to.
And you have the smaller hands.
I do have smaller hands, and I prefer that. I don't like my pinky sliding off with a lot of the other smaller guns. This also has night sights on it, so that if it is dark, they do glow, so it's a little bit easier to see, and it's a little easier to line it up even in the day. It holds 7 rounds, and definitely does what it needs to.
As far as ladies picking out guns, what is your advice?
Come in, try it, see if the grip feels comfortable to you, if you can easily pull the slide back if you're looking at a semi-auto. If you would prefer a revolver, go with that as well. Just try out the grip and see how it feels. You have to be comfortable with it.
But bigger may not be better.
Exactly. Bigger may not be better. All of them are going to kick, and different guns have a different kick to them, but it's really just what you're comfortable with.